What's up, y'all? This your girl, Katie Influencer, and this is Crime in the Hood TV. Today's case brings us to Greenville, South Carolina, where 24-year-old Tayler Maraj was kidnapped, gunned down by her boyfriend, 38-year-old Nathaniel Carrington. This case really touched me because he was already 14 years older than her, and I seen like a lot of manipulation with this, and maybe a little battered woman syndrome going on too as well, because Nathaniel had a long rap sheet, a long history of violence, but specifically with Tayler dating back in February of 2025, where another kidnapping occurred at that time. So before I get to the article about the killing of Tayler and the suicide of Nathaniel, I want to read an article that was posted. The title of this article was "Why Upstate Murder Suicide Suspect Was Out on Bond Despite Violent Past," right? So that's why I say it was some manipulation. It was some battered woman syndrome going on, because she had already been through this. It's like manipulated her mind to the point where, like, I love you, and I'll never hurt you again. You know how men do. They keep saying the same thing. I'm sorry, I won't do it no more. And it just get worse and worse, right? And she was so young. You feel me? She already had a naive mind frame, right? So this one says, when Nathaniel Carrington kidnapped his girlfriend from a busy gas station on May 24th, the 38-year-old was on probation for 2 violent convictions and out on bond for another domestic violence charge. Had Carrington stopped there, his probation would have been revoked, according to a spokesperson for South Carolina's Department of Probation, Parole, and Pardon Services. But they didn't have the chance to do that. Shortly after the kidnapping, investigators said Carrington shot and killed 24-year-old Tayler Maraj. Then he turned the gun on himself, right? So, I'm not reading the whole article. Going all the way down at the bottom of the article, right? The order for bond also said Maraj was not afraid of Carrington and wanted him home. The Greenville County Sheriff's Office charged him with domestic violence of high and aggravated nature, kidnapping, and resisting arrest. That was in February. Wilkins said Maraj, which is Tayler, was the victim in that case too. But when Carrington requested bond in March, Maraj presented a side paper to the judge saying it was a misunderstanding. Like, she wanted him home. That's what it was. The judge set Carrington's bond at $25,000 and ordered him to home incarceration with GPS monitoring. He was also not allowed to have any guns. Once Carrington was released on bond, they said he was placed on a supervised, requirement on his case. Required he go to more substance abuse counseling and instituted a zero tolerance policy, meaning if Carrington got in trouble again, his probation would be revoked and he would be rearrested. So let's talk about that, because that means like he ain't trying to go back to jail. You feel me? And I done been around so many people, talking about cases, and they say, well, man, I feel him though, man, because I ain't going back to jail, man. I'd rather die. Like, it's crazy work, right? But first, before I get any further, I want to give my deepest condolences to the family of Tayler Maraj, because this is hard. This is definitely hard, and the way she went out was just crazy. It was crazy, and it wasn't right. And there's so many women, young women at that's suffering in silence, baby. I just want to let y'all know that whatever it is, get out. If you can get out, get out. Don't be manipulated by, oh, I love you and I won't do it again. I won't hurt you. The first man that put his hands on me, that was the last time. And I'm trying to tell you, he's still sitting in Greenville County to this day. It's no time to play around, right? Not with your life. All right, part 2 of the Tayler Maraj case. So we just spoke about him being incarcerated. This is kidnapping her in February. Now we in May. All right, so this is another news article stating about the incident, how it happened, how it played out, and leading up to both their deaths, Tayler and Nathaniel. So the Malden Police Department said the incident started at the Sphinx on Northeast Main Street around 11:40 a.m., where a 24-year-old woman, which is later identified as Tayler, was kidnapped by an armed suspect. Officers report the suspect and victim were gone by the time they arrived at the scene, but confirmed the kidnapping through a video evidence. The 38-year-old suspect, which is Nathaniel Carrington, later opened fire on the woman as she was trapped inside a blue Subaru on the highway. The suspect continued to drive and at one point turned around to head north, then turned the gun on himself. The car rolled to a stop near the Piedmont exit, where it was found around 12:30 p.m. The woman was transported to Greenville Memorial Hospital but did not survive. The coroner identified the victim as Tayler Maraj. The coroner said she died due to a gunshot wound to the head at 12:54. On Saturday, the shooter was found dead at the scene. Deputies report it appears the two knew each other well, but specifies that it's still being looked into, right? So they was at a store. Him and Tayler went inside the store together. And Tayler was like asking people for help, like help me, help me, help me. He finally went up to Tayler. It was like, it's time to go. Tayler said no. That's when he pulled out a gun and forced her in the driver's seat of the Subaru. She tried to get out on the other side, and she couldn't. And that's when all this proceeded to take place. Again, I want to give my condolences. If you are in a situation where you need help, if you're in an abusive situation, mentally, physically, emotionally, I don't care what it is, seek help and get out. Don't tell the person you don't want to be with them no more. You want to end it. You're gonna leave. Don't move in silence. Get out. Save your life. Love you before you can love anyone else. And once again, y'all, this your girl Katie Influencer. Like, subscribe, share, support me. I'm a mom of 5, which 3 are girls. So, this definitely hits home, and I want my kids to be able to speak and move accordingly how they supposed to if they ever in a situation like that. God forbid, losing a child, especially at 24. That's too much. So y'all, like, subscribe, follow my YouTube, Crime in the Hood at Katie Influencer, my TikTok at K So Tatted, Facebook page K Smith. Y'all hit me up. Like, follow, subscribe. See you in the comments. Bless you too.